there we go. We are live with Mr. Kamal Nedja, APF President. Kamal, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you for making yourself available again today. We really do appreciate it, and it's great to chat to you after technology let us down a little bit earlier in the afternoon. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome, Nick. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to highlight our near future project with the policy in Africa and many things else that we will see together.
Yes, absolutely. It's fantastic to be able to chat with you. And I think there's a lot of very, very exciting things happening. I think let's start off quickly and chat about the 2025 African Powerlifting Championships. And from my personal experience, I was fortunate to be at some of the other championships up north. I think 2015 or 2016, we were in Morocco. And we were really just starting out, sort of as a with the competitions internationally, and it's really come so far from those early competitions and really has progressed. Tunisia was the most wonderful competition. The venue was fantastic. The hotel was fantastic. The support and the service there was unbelievable. The trophies and that trophy table absolutely took my breath away. Something very, very special to experience with all the nations' flags. And it was great to see so many young lifters and also so many ladies lifting as well. That was something that was really special. What was the competition like for you? How was that? Were you happy with the results?
Yes, the last edition of the African Championship in Tunisia was, I assume, in line with the two last championships organized in Algeria in 2023 and in South Africa 2024. So this edition is really in line with those competitions that are, for me, they are meeting the standards of international requirement by APF. We have I think now put this to be continuously like this, because as you know, the reason for this is that especially in Tunisia, last August I went there with the organizer, the meet director, and we put all details in discussion, and we visited the hotel, the venue, and all that is related to the competition, so that we have got such a good competition, because there was a visit before that. It's always when you prepare something before, the goal is reached. And for for other reason is that APF, the African Powerlifting Federation, is supporting the organizers since last year, and they are really supporting more than it is demanded. We are supporting them for supplying things and paying some some uh, some requirements to get the venue, the competition as a good show.
It was really a fantastic show. And I think it's definitely something that not only the sport of powerlifting in Africa can be proud of, but the whole African continent can be really proud of the representation and of the standard of the competition. It was absolutely fantastic. I know that there were some of the other countries that were there that were also wanting to host, not just necessarily the Northern African and the Southern African countries, but the Central Africans, some of the islands as well. Everyone is now wanting to host because they've seen the standard of competition. In your experience and chatting with some of the other federations and other country heads, What was the feedback from this competition by some of the other federations and country heads? Were they proud? Were they grateful? Can you tell us what were some of those chats like?
Yes, I took this opportunity to say hello to every federation head, to the president that we manage a good relationship. As you have seen in our General Assembly, the discussion is democratic and we are concerting for everything. So this is we really are as a family. We are as a
Yes,
family. These things can help us doing a lot of good things in the future with them. And of course, the presidents were present there, appreciated the event, and were grateful for making the lifters competing in such good conditions.
yes,
Uh, Uh, the Central Africa, especially this region, is very active. Is apart the northern and the southern, but the Central Africa Federation these last 3 years are very active and being like that, we discussed in our EC meeting that we need to to accompany them. For example, to as 2026, we are planning to how to organize a central regional sub, sub championship for this region, and therefore we are going to supply the organizer with powerlifting approved equipment for the competition and as a gift for the organizer. And
fantastic.
maybe shortly, yeah, and shortly maybe we are going to this region is going to host the All African Powerlifting Championship. We start with the sub-regional Central Africa Championship, and we supply one or two federations with powerlifting equipment approved, and then I think in 1 2 years we can host the All African Championship there in Central area. In Central area is important because it's easier from the northern countries
Mm,
to travel to Central and the southern to travel to country. And for these countries in the Central Africa, hasn't will not be obliged to travel every time to the north or the south of Africa. So this is a balance for the future to really develop powerlifting across Africa.
absolutely. And I think the more support the regions feel that they're getting, the more involvement there's going to be. And I know there was a lot of passion from the Central African athletes and coaches as well. When we look forward to 2026, we're going to see the competition taking place in South Africa. For yourself going forward after 2026, 2027, are there countries that you would like to see in Africa maybe joining the federation, or those who have joined hosting the competitions? What are your plans for the next sort of 2 to 3 years?
Yes, that this point has been discussed in our last meeting, so that we should have a planning for 3 years ahead. Federation need to know 3 years
Mm,
ahead where the competitions will take place, so that we can organize with the authorities uh, um, preparing the participation according to the place and to the travel cost, and so they will have an idea before that. It's good to foresee the competitions before.
hmm.
In 2026, we have not only one championship, which is All African Powerlifting Championship. but we'll have another competition that is, as I said before,
Mm-hmm.
the Central Sub-Regional African Championship that will be held in Cameroon in by May by May.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to to try to work together closer with President Yahoo to prepare the event so that the first one will be a success one and it will be a good reason for the Central African to host Central Championships for the next years.
Yes.
For this, we are going to supply the Cameroon Federation with approved IPF powerlifting kit for the competition, uh, and we'll have maybe four countries taking place in this event. It will be Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Cape Verde, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is now applying for the membership. I think they are at the last step to make this happen
Mm-hmm.
with the IPF, with Robert Keller and Kimberley. They are at the final phase, so that I think by that time we'll have Burkina Faso with us, so we can have 5 or 6 countries in Central Africa. It's a very big step that is reached this year, 2026.
Absolutely. I think it's absolutely phenomenal because the more exposure that athletes and coaches get to international competition, the higher the standard of the lifting goes in that country and in that region. And we really saw the standard of the lifting raise up for this last 2025 African Championships in Tunisia. The standard of lifting was good. The conduct on the platform was good. It was really great to see the coaching, everything, the reffing rather, everything really went very, very well. With regards to the development of Central Africa, over the next few years, what would you like to see happening in that Central African region? You've mentioned some countries are coming on. We're having a competition now. Is this something that you would like to see more of in terms of regional comps? Are some of the athletes from the south or the north going to get invited as guest lifters? We wanting to go and visit. What are your plans for the next few years for Central Africa?
Yes, it was discussed that Africa is divided into 3 regions:
Mm-hmm.
Northern region, Central, and Southern. So, as in the north of Africa, we are organizing all African championship. In South, we are organizing year by year in South Africa. But at the central region, there is no competition held there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is to start organizing our All African Championship in Central Africa. I know that they lack equipment, they lack enough, they lack international referees, they lack organizational vision. So this is the Central Sub-Regional Championships will open the doors for them to meet the standards to organize all African Championship,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will get a gift as equipment, powerlifting equipment as a gift. So by this sub-regional championship, they will get material, equipment, and they will get experience and the standards to meet to provide to host the All African Championship. But in the meanwhile, I think the sub-regional championship will be a good beginning for these countries to 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 aim for the All African Championship.
Yes.
And then, on the other hand, organizing a second competition in Africa will open will be present in Central Africa with the official authorities, so that maybe we will see by their eyes in practice that their countries are really uh, good federation that
Mm.
participate as well, and they are organizing in their own countries. So maybe by this, the sport ministry will support them more. And in the and this and in the other hand, also we can maybe have we can hope having more sponsors, because having
Hmm.
only one event by year, it's not enough for a sponsor. It's not beneficial for them to accompany us, since we have only one competition. So we're starting with the central one, and maybe we can organize the northern one apart and the southern one apart, and then comes the big all African championship.
Hmm. I think that's such a wonderful way of doing it and approaching it, where the countries that haven't yet hosted internationals have the opportunity to host a regional competition, which is on a smaller scale, but still has to uphold the standards of international competition. And it's a great way for those federations to gain the experience. And also, I think, very important, and I'd like your thoughts on this, to show the African Federation and the IPF that they can host an international African championships, or potentially even, down the line in a few years' time, an IPF championships like World Masters or something like that. It's really a great idea to give them the opportunity on a smaller scale, but still with the high standards of an international. Is that the thinking behind these competitions?
Yes, the thinking is behind this is multiple
Hmm.
goals. The first one is to help them, to provide them equipment. The equipment is important, and the first thing that is needed by federation to develop the discipline
Hmm.
in their country. The, we can we it's when you organize, it's an opportunity for us to provide and to make a gift for this federation. And secondly, the authorities will
Mm.
see in practical that the federation is active, and maybe they need more support to be in the international competitions, to participate with the biggest number of lifters. So, and to make the link between the October All African Championship, maybe in the middle of the year we make this regional
Hmm.
championship. This, the promotion of powerlifting of Africa, and promotion and communication of what is happening in Africa will be a year round. Not only we stop many year months, and then only before the African Championship, and a few days later, and then it's all is closed.
Mm.
Now this opportunity to make the link to another competition with at a small scale, lower scale, I know, but it's always an event that can be shown and promoted for in our social media.
Hmm.
Social media, as you saw in last few months, where they were present more and more in the social media. And I, as president, I appreciate it. As the executive member, we appreciate what is done in our Facebook page, in our Instagram, and how we are showing all that it concerns powerlifting news and our events, videos. This is a good to maintain this
Hmm.
year round.
Absolutely. And I think just to complement the federation, it was wonderful to see the photos and the videos that were going up on the social media. The social media for the African Powerlifting Federation has just grown in leaps and bounds, and the fantastic photos that were coming out from the competition, then you'd get all the photos the next day of the lifting and the information and the video. It really made it feel very top level in terms of a competition, and it was always nice to see after the comp that there were still the pictures being posted and the information being made available, because it was a good reminder of the competition and to see what was happening. I think social media is so important. I noticed on the live streaming the number of lifters, particularly with the first day or 2 days with the juniors and the sub juniors. The viewership numbers were much more than when we had the open and the master lifters, because I think the young people who are the future of the sport are really engaged and committed to social media, and it's something that's vital in growing the sport. Have you had feedback from some of the other African federations, coaches and athletes as to the result of the social media? Are they seeing that it's making an impact for them in their countries?
Yes, as I told you in the beginning, that African Federation president are happy
Mm,
with what APF is now. They are very happy of the progress that has been made during these last few years.
mm-hmm,
And this year is marked with the social media promotion. They are very happy about this. And as you mentioned, our young lifters are more involved in social media, so that's why in the two first days of the competition, it was so much shared in social media.
mm-hmm.
Viewers, many viewers in following our championship. I think the future of Africa is optimistic, as our young listeners, as you saw, that there was many world records broken,
Mm-hmm.
has broken in that championship, and these are the future lifters in the junior and open category, and these are they will bring all the supporters, the people that are following them, to follow Africa IPF activity. So I think even not only the show was good and the venue was far
Mm.
was beautiful, but also technically our lifters made a lot of world records in that competition, and we'll see some of them in the coming 2026 Worlds. They will be highlighted in the World Championship, the juniors and juniors lifters.
Yeah, absolutely. And for South Africa, it was wonderful to watch our sub junior break a world record in the deadlift. It was absolutely fantastic to see, and just to see the courage and the fight within these young lifters, it was really something very, very special. And there were some special awards given out as well at the end of the competition. Some of the lifters that have been part of powerlifting in Africa for decades got acknowledgement and received trophies and those wonderful plaques. So it was really great to see the feedback or the acknowledgement, let me say that, from the federations for the lifters and the connection with the lifters as well. With regards to the competition, before we move on to 2026, are there any special moments, Kamal, that stand out for you, that put a smile on your face with regards to the championships in Tunisia? It
Yes,
doesn't have to be a serious question. I mean,
yes, as manager of the African Powerlifting Federation, we aim always to do better than the last year. And this what happened from 2023, 2024, and 25.
mm,
I think with the implementation of Image Media in our action for promotion, and what can we show
Mm-hmm.
right away after the competition. Videos, photos is important for us. We still like this this uh, this thing that
Mm-hmm.
we have to own. But so far we don't have a team that with real name as a media team
Mm-hmm.
that can follow us with photographers and videos and prepare that right away and present it in our social media during the event and right away after. So this is, we have to work on this on 2026 with I think Image Media is in a good position to help us with these goals this perspective. So I think we are starting to work from now,
Mm-hmm.
from January, from this month. We are starting. We are aiming to organize and to organize the Central, the All African,
Mm-hmm.
and decide the social media activities all the year. So we're starting this year, working earlier. We're with contact sooner our international federation IPF, presenting them our
Mm-hmm.
development plan that we usually make it 7 months after January. But this year we are planning to do it this month,
Mm-hmm.
so IPF can have time to see our plan in details and discuss in the EC meeting, and maybe with this plan this calendar year is having more activity than the former ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope with the activity and the development fund from IPF and some sponsor, we can really help our federation to have equipment, to have support for organizing the events. So I think I am optimistic for this year, 2026, to make to upgrade our activity and to show a good face of
Mm-hmm.
African population.
Absolutely. I mean, I love that. And we're really grateful for the opportunity for the work that we've been able to do with the APF because it's very, very important. I know if we look at Europe, they have many regional competitions and different competitions throughout the year. And the same with North America, with South America, maybe not so much, but with Asia, lots of regional competitions. And I think that this is going to be something that's going to be very special for Africa over the next few years. And the competition for Central Africa that's taking place in May is going to be the starting point. So perhaps in a year or two, we could have a Southern Africa Championship, Central Africa Championships, Northern Africa Championships, and then the African Championships. And we can get, I don't want to put more work on your plate. We could have
Yeah.
a regional universities, regional juniors, sub-juniors. I think this is something as the sport grows that these are these opportunities that we're facing. We had a message from one of the lifters in North Africa saying that he's feeling that the powerlifting in his country is not the IPF lifting in his country, and the sport is not really getting the support that it needs. If there are young athletes who are wanting to get help, wanting to know how to get involved with powerlifting in Africa under the IPF, under the APF, can they reach out and message the African Powerlifting Federation WhatsApp, the Instagram message or the on Facebook, and they'll get a response? Can they get assistance through the social media channels?
yes. We are ready and we are available to respond to everyone who wants to ask for uh, his 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 inquiries, and we are present and we are
Hmm.
here to help them.
Fantastic.
It's difficult for lifters who are not a federation affiliated to APF or IPF to get them into our competition. Uh, this is the regulation doesn't permit that. But for these lifters, we have to work at the internal level to create a federation
Hmm.
to get affiliated. That's the only way that we can reach our championships and
Hmm.
IPF activity.
That's it. You have to become part of the IPF. You have to become part of the APF, and then you can participate in these competitions. And I really do think, particularly, although I'm a master two, nearly a master three lifter myself, I think what's absolutely fantastic is the number of youth getting involved in the sport and that are competing, and that we've seen from the different regions across Africa. What would you like to see taking place in South Africa at towards the end of this year for the African Championships? You want to see more lifters, more youth, more ladies, more countries coming in. Uh, Perhaps let me get that question to you first, and then we can talk about the process of joining the federation.
What I would like uh, every year, and what I would like to have is to have more federation taking place in this African Championship. The more federations we have, the more the development in Africa can take place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have now almost we had before 19 federations affiliated federations, but always we have 8 or 9 who participate. There are some affiliated federations, but they are not active. They have their reason. I understand Africa is not
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's not easy. The way is far. The support from the authorities is not always possible. So there are many difficulties for them to get regularly active. But I think being present in the region for smaller competition, maybe they will let the authorities have another idea about our sport and the achievement of the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the governments may like to see their athletes, their youngsters, their youth involved in sport, not in other things. I think if we see them taking place in sport and requiring more support, if we give them enough support, we will get more and more athletes involved. So that I think this is the main goal for the government to take care of their youth and to get them involved in the right way, in the right path in sport. I mean, so the more federation we have, the more development
Mm-hmm.
we can reach. I would like to have more federation and the more female lifters and the more young lifters, the junior and junior. That's the future of our sport in Africa in 3 years.
I think, Kamal, if I can ask you a question on a more personal level, you've been involved in sport for, and I don't want to give your age away, but for many decades in different sport, from bodybuilding to powerlifting to karate, and since the time you were a young man, both competing and getting involved in the sport. Why is sport so important for young people? as a safe place to put their energy? What makes it so valuable to be involved in sport?
Sport is a discipline, is a lifestyle. You have to go to train for workout. You have to compete. You have to meet your coach. You have to meet your club responsible. All these people are not going to show you the wrong way. Even your time is involved in this activity. You don't have free time to let other bad people
Hmm.
guide you in the other way. So uh, being occupied is important, and more important is that you're occupied with a good person, with coaches, with with the lifters, with the clubs responsible, with federation responsible, with your sport authorities. So this environment is sane, is proper. So for nations, what is more important? What is the important for us? It's not money or oil or it's the youth. Youth is the main important source of for a nation. If you have a youth that is in good health, they have a good vision,
Hmm.
proper lifestyle. This nation will be in a good situation economically, socially, and in everything. So
Absolutely.
youth are the important, and youth are involved with sport. Sport is the one of the means that can give good support for the government, for the
Hmm.
nation. So youth are important to guide them from this age. So when they become adults, they are in responsibility. They have responsibilities. They have important jobs. So they are a good person to occupy this job, these responsibilities, and that's what can make a nation progress.
Sure. I absolutely love that. And I couldn't agree more with you. Having been involved with working with youth and working with youth from difficult backgrounds and from challenging communities where there's potentially poverty, there are drug problems, and that in South Africa has a great deal of that. We have a lot of unemployment. We have a lot of very, very poor communities with good kids in them, and they're wanting to get out into healthier environments. And I love what you said, where it helps you go into an environment that's healthy. When you're putting all of your time, as you said, into your training, you don't have time to hang out with bad people and to have bad influence. And I think there's nothing better that a government can do for its own future than to support sport and sports development for the youth and enable these athletes to have the opportunity to travel to competitions around the continent, to support them with equipment, to support them with training. It's absolutely essential. I want to get your thoughts on that, but just wanted to share this. We have a comment from Neil Swanepoel. Kamal, he says, excellent. So Niels is a South African athlete, a wonderful gentleman, and he just mentioned here, so that's his comment from Facebook saying excellent, and I couldn't agree with him more. Your thoughts on just as, and I know you have mentioned it, but for a country to protect its future, it has to protect its youth, and sport is a wonderful place for that.
Yes, exactly. Sport become now is political deal. Nations can show their nations and assuring place among the nations. It's through sport. Sport can make a nation valuable and respectable, and can to be open for the world, for all countries, for to come to visit this country, which is very excellent in
Mm-hmm.
sport result. They have sport result. This is important. The sport is now in need of dealing with politically. I think now um, politicals are now getting conscious that sport is
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we have to take care because it can make them valuable and respectable among the nation.
I think that's such an important point. There's no better way for a country to show its strength than to show how strong its youth are. And that's the best sport for that is powerlifting. We absolutely have to love that. And I mean that with all due respect to the other strength sports like Olympic lifting or strongman and so on. But really, it's a wonderful thing to do. And I really think that hopefully this is something that's going to give governments and regional governments the opportunity to see the value in the sport and start supporting their athletes, particularly their youth. So it's easier then to grow lifting on the continent. From your side, just as we start to wrap up, because I really do appreciate your time that you've made for us. And I always say this in our conversations, I can't wait to chat to you again. Is there anything that you would like to share for 2026 or with what's happened previously in powerlifting? Anything that you want to touch on or talk about?
I thi- I'm really working that this first sub-regional something championship will take place. Because I know if it can happen, if we start this one, it will be regular, and this is very important. I before a few months ago, con- I was in contact with a company, respectable company, uh, for the aim of sponsoring African Powerlifting Federation. And one of the reasons that he couldn't go with us at that time is that we had only one event a year.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the year, only one competition. Um, and inside myself, I respect his point of view because he is right. He's right. He has a company manager. He must think
Mm-hmm.
as a manager. It's not making social activities. Or as a manager, economic manager, he has to think about his benefit from his action. So I really get this. It touched me, but I, 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 from that time, I was thinking how to to make things that the sponsor will be attracted
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, from these things. As we ask, we have two options, two things to do: make more events during the year, and we have good communication.
Yes.
These two actions may help us to get some sponsors in the near future. That's important to realize to make happen this year, 2026.
Yes, I think that's absolutely phenomenal. The more competitions, the more regional competitions on the continent, I think, there's so many benefits from a sponsor point of view, from the development of powerlifting in those different regions, that point of view, but also from the fact that international travel is very, very expensive. And when you're having to only travel within your region, you have the opportunity perhaps to take a bus where the country can hire a bus versus everybody flying on their own. And I know some of the countries did that for the championships now in Tunisia, where they drove home versus flying. So it comes with all of these wonderful, wonderful benefits. And I know that from myself, Kamal, I know how hard you work, and I've been very fortunate enough to have gotten to know you over the last sort of 4 years. And just the effort that you're putting in. I know powerlifting with your team is in very, very good hands. And the future of powerlifting on the continent is in very, very good hands. And things are only going to get better. They're going to get to be more competitions. And we can't wait to see this incredible sport of ours grow on the African continent.
Yes, yes, thank you, Nick. This is was possible because with my executive members,
Yes.
uh, we 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 are working together democratically. We we share everything together. We are as a group in a good in a good in a good connection, in good communication. We really I appreciate this, and with our friends, federation presidents that are regularly present,
Mm-hmm.
we we are really have good communication. We meet, we discuss about everything democratically. We take their proposals, we suggest to them something that is better for them, and I think things are going very well as a management as a whole.
Yes.
Now Africa needs 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 a lot of money, need
Mm-hmm.
money,
Mm-hmm.
more money we have ideas, we have a volunteer, we have ideas, but without money we cannot. But I am sure that with ideas, with the volunteer, we can bring money to
Yes.
Africa. We can bring
Absolutely.
money from partners, from IPF, from with the ideas with our volunteer. I know that in the coming time, in the coming few months, we can make things realized.
Absolutely. And I think just and to acknowledge your committee and your team effectively from Africa that's putting in this work. There's many, many decades of experience and expertise in this amazing committee, and everyone is giving of their time because there's a passion and a love for the sport of powerlifting. And I think it's one of the greatest things that can happen to Africa is the growth of the sport of powerlifting, seeing it in more countries with more competitions and with more sports. I think when we chat again in January 2027, I'm very excited. Well, we'll chat before that. We'll see you please before that. But talking about the follow up on 2026, I would like to put on the record to say that people are going to be amazed by what has happened in Africa for the year within powerlifting with the different competitions, and then what is going to be coming down the line in 2027 is going to be absolutely amazing. So that I'm putting on the record and I'm stating it. So now people can call me up on that in a year's time to say, Nick, you said that.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Absolutely.
I will be happy.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen. Absolutely. Kamal, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you're incredibly busy. You've got so much on your plate. And not only did you make time for us earlier today, but you did again this afternoon so that we could have a better connection and be able to share with all of our viewers. We've had some amazing, I've been watching the number of people watching this. It's been fantastic. And it's definitely something that we can be very proud of. And I'm looking forward to getting the the president of the Cameroonian powerlifting on, and we're going to see maybe we can reach out to some of the Cameroonian ministers to see how they would feel so that we can guilt them into supporting the competition and making it something very special.
Hmm. Yes, to finish my the meeting, I would
Mm.
like to show you the volunteer of the African Powerlifting Federation to where the affiliated federation. We are really you are you are our first, your first, uh, your our first uh, things that we are looking forward to have.
Mm-hmm.
This year, for example, this year we have uh, we have supported. We start we started since we have some we got some development fund from IPF. Uh, we would like to share them with our federation. We have had our lifters who participated in the World Games last August. We African Federation has paid their participation fees for the
Mm-hmm.
coaches and lifters. We have worked together hard to get electro equipment for the Tunisian Federation. We have paid the affiliation fee for uh, for Zimbabwe and for Nigeria to
Mm-hmm.
avoid to avoid being in a bad situation with IPF and avoid excluding them from IPF. So with the few uh, with the few money we have, we're trying to help our federation, rep federation
Mm-hmm.
closely, and the more we can get sponsor, we can get development funds from IPF, the more we will be closer to our federations, our lifters, our coaches, to let them be present in the African and international events and to have the required equipment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's, and if I could add to that, African powerlifting is very much a family. And you get that sense at the competitions. And from the executive, there is tremendous care to grow the sport. You spoke about everything that you are, the African Powerlifting Federation is doing to support not only the lifters, but the countries as well, to keep them involved, to keep them engaged. And I would ask personally, that lifters in those countries, in those federations, make sure that those who are running the federations are getting everything done that's needed to be done, from the paperwork that's got to go in every year to volunteering to put competitions together, referee clinics, lifting clinics, all of these things. The lifters want to benefit from the sport of powerlifting. It's also the lifter's responsibility to get involved and to make sure that the federations are also supporting the African Powerlifting Federation and enabling it to do and continue to support the sport.
Yes, yes, with the same way. Uh, for helping our federations to be in standard with the IPF requirement.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for the IPF coaches license level 2, we have worked with IPF and we brought the
Dipmar
the
and Piotr out, yes.
yeah, yeah, we brought them to Africa so that we can have all our national coaches certificated and can in the future nominate in good without any problem. And also what we are planning to do with Central Africa in this region, we will also plan to have rescue clinics and maybe coaches clinic for
Mm-hmm.
them, so that we can have all what is required to to organize a good competition, wrestlers, coaches. So this is among what we are planning to do in this region, this transfer region.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely. Thank you. And that's how the sport is grown, by having the referees, by having the coaches with the right
Yeah,
accreditation, with the right levels that they can represent at international level, because it comes down to making sure that all the rules are followed and one is compliant with the IPF. So again, Kamal, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick. See you next time. Okay.
You'll chat to
Bye.
you soon. I'm going to just end the live stream and then I'll chat to you quickly off air for a few moments. All right. So if you have a minute or two, just stay with me for a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. A big thank you to the African Powerlifting Federation President, Mr. Kamal Nedja, for your time. I'm very passionate about the sport on this continent and about this continent, and it's going to be one heck of a fantastic year.